Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. It's amazing with the reports that I'm reading and some of the information that I'm seeing. I think it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. National Real Estate Post had a vlog out there, which I thought was very informative, and I'll leave you to go take a look at that. It's publicly accessible, so you can go to either their YouTube channel or look them up online and pull up that post. I think it's just more information. They go into a lot more statistical data and things than that I'm used to doing. But my point is, when it comes to the reality, we are where I pointed out we would be. Crossroads that I talked about back in 2018 are here. Uh, those of you who have been around a while remember that back in 2018 I traveled around and spent time talking to real estate agents and mortgage professionals all across the country, dealing with the potential challenges that face both our industries. And I tried to share with people, what I saw about the growing trend of both mortgage and real estate people buying leads and building huge teams of subordinate or production assistants or partners or buyer's agents or whatever you want to call it, of people. And they were dealing with the fact that if we could buy these leads, we could spend time on the phones, and we could call these people, and we could email these people and text these people, and that would generate the lead, which could turn into a transaction. And I think a lot of that uh, belief system has really led to a huge challenge, both in mortgage and real estate, about the skill set that people in mortgage and real estate need to be self-reliant. And I think for large measure, what we've seen over the last few years that I've warned about have come true, because I think many of those skill sets of the realtors and the loan originators of being self-reliant and generating their own opportunities to close transactions are disappearing very quickly. This matter only gets more complicated, that these leads are being purchased from companies, largely who are in the business of not only selling leads, but in the bigger picture, their focus is on really taking over a large segment or controlling a large segment of both the real estate listing and selling process, as well as the mortgage end of the deal. It's amazing that we're looking at exactly what I talked about in Crossroads, and you can go back and look at the Crossroads presentation and remember that I told you that they're making people dependent. They've lost their ability to be self-sufficient, and they're making people dependent on these very leads. And now the process has become the control of these leads, and the manner in which we try to convert them, versus generating a quality experience and an opportunity through personal relationships, and allowing that customer and that referral partner to have the confidence that they're working with a true professional. In this marketplace, what I talked about in 2018 is true in virtually all markets in the United States. These companies are now a direct competitor to the realtors and the mortgage professionals, either standalone companies or subsidiaries to themselves. And it is something, by the way, that the CFPB has just started to look into, is the relationship between the circumstance. And so when we look at what's happening, I'm convinced, just looking at the broad spectrum of the marketplace and talking to the people that I'm talking with, that more and more licensed people are no longer in control of their own business, nor do they have the ability to self-generate opportunities. That many of them are parts of teams. They're either working in a call center or working as a production assistant or a buyer's agent or any one of these other roles that funnel business up through the top. And again, it's only 3 years ago that I was doing Crossroads, explaining this very possibility, when realtors and mortgage people who attended these events looked at me and said, that'll never happen. Well, if you're not doing anything and you want to make sure that you're not listening to somebody that's lost his mind, do me a favor, just go online and Google search Zillow to see if they're not licensed as a real estate broker and what states they're licensed in. Just do a quick Zillow search and take a look. If you're a real estate agent or a mortgage professional, take a look and find out that a few short years ago, they were only in a couple of states. They only had access to a couple of markets in even small locations. And people said, that's only a little thing. It's never going to work. Well, guess what? Pull up, pull up that list and take a look and see if the state that you reside in, where you're doing business, see if it's on that list. And then realize whether or not you have a direct competitor in a company, and then think about whether or not that's a company that you want to support and buy product from and become dependent upon. So as I said back in 2018, and I'll reiterate now, you just have to take a look around and see what's going on. More and more realtors and more mortgage professionals are losing the ability to be self-sufficient and self-generating their own opportunities. And that may be fine if that's where we're going. If people have decided that call center and huge team building is what we need to be, then that may be a segment of the business that will become the largest, most dominant player. That may be true, and there's not much I'm going to be able to do to stop that. But what I will continue to do is work with people who realize that the relationships that are established, the referral partners that we work with, who are in lockstep with the fact that this is all about providing an exceptional client experience, about providing value to people, helping them make an informed choice, explaining to them what all their options are, and putting them in the best possible position to succeed, is going to be a market that I'm going to continue to work on and work with and try to advise people to pay attention to. Because if you're not paying attention to what's going on in this marketplace, if you're not paying attention to how these things are being controlled, manipulated, and really who your competition is, at least be aware that many of the companies that you're going to, that you're supporting, that you're giving money to, are in direct competition to your way of life and a threat to your business and how you feed your family. Then that's a conscious decision that you want to make, and be prepared to go to work in a call center or working for some other place on a 9-to-5 job, going through this for a hell of a lot less money than what you're capable of making today. Make it a conscious choice, and that'll be fine. But if you're not aware of what's going on, or you are aware and looking for a way out, then that's an email or a text away, and to reach out and let's talk about it. It's Mike at imtcoaching.com, and I'll speak to you guys again next week. Take care.